the short period of time the legislature has been in session, the newly elected senator from Duluth has been a vocal proponent of measures to protect the environment. I spoke with Senator Jennifer McEwen as part of our ongoing series of conversations with new members. You became the DFL-endorsed candidate by challenging incumbent DFLer Erik Simonsen in the primary and winning. You went on to easily win the November election. What drew you into politics and to run for the Senate specifically?
Well, thank you for that question, and thank you very much for having me today. It's a pleasure to join you and to talk about being in the Senate and about the election, and I'm very pleased to join you, so thanks for having me. So yes, I decided to jump in and become I guess I have always been a very political person. I was raised in a very political family. My parents were both active in their unions and proud DFLers, so we talked politics at home, and I was really raised with that ethic. But in recent years, like many people, I really began to feel a sense with the election of Donald Trump that there's a real urgency around a lot of critical issues, really basic bread and butter issues in our country. And was tired of the incrementalism that I think the Democratic Party and our state DFL party often become engaged in when we have these really critical issues around healthcare, around housing, around wealth disparity, where we have people barely getting by, and then we're sort of tweaking around the edges and maintaining the status quo. So that, in addition to some key extractive industry issues that are very important to the constituency in my district in Duluth, really propelled me to decide to step in and to try to represent the voice of my neighbors and my community in Duluth, who were asking for some bolder action and some more principled, ethical politics.
Well, and I have questions about two of those things that you just mentioned. You are on the Transportation Committee and also on the Natural Resources Policy Committee, both of which just recently debated California's clean car emission standards and whether Minnesota should adopt those. You said Minnesota should have moved in this direction a long time ago. In the DFL introduction of new members, you said that there's real urgency for you around climate change. So what more should the state be doing to combat the changing climate?
Thank you for this question. Yes, this is the issue of our times. It truly is. We are facing an existential crisis worldwide that in the next decades is truly set to come home to roost for us throughout the world, but in Minnesota as well. So there's a number of steps that we need to be taking actively to transition our economy to a clean energy economy. And so that means our energy sectors have to switch over as expeditiously as is possible. And we do that by leading with living wage, good family supporting union jobs. So there's something called the Blue-Green Alliance that is doing excellent work in this regard, where we can address wealth inequality, which is also a huge, huge fundamental problem in our society, and also tackle the climate crisis. So we transition our energy to clean energy 100% as soon as possible. We cannot wait until 2050. That will be too late. And really, it's been my entire lifetime that scientists have been telling us that we need to make these changes, but yet our economic system and our political system are so entrenched in favor of serving an elite economic class that it really has been like pulling teeth to try to get action in this regard. And now we're at a point where it's do or die. We have to make these really tough decisions in the next 10 years. But I believe that with everyone on board pulling together, we can actually make this transition in a way that will really truly foster an economic renaissance of sorts for not only northern Minnesota and northeastern Minnesota, where I am from, but throughout the country. And it will really put us in a better spot than we were at before we entered the pandemic and we entered into this critical stage of the climate crisis.
You mentioned extractive industries. You're also talking about good jobs. In your district, the history is inextricably entwined with geography and the resources of your region. You are the author of a bill that would require proposed mining operations demonstrate a period of a functioning mine elsewhere that did zero damage to the environment. There's this eternal debate over jobs and the environment. So how do you reconcile those two things?
Well, I'm going to correct you on one thing with your question. So the legislation, the Prove It First legislation, applies to copper nickel mining. So it does not apply to all mining. This is not an anti-mining bill in any regard. And really what I and other people in Duluth, in District 7 in Duluth, have been grappling with for some decades now is this sort of false dichotomy that has been set up, that this jobs versus the environment. And I think that the success of my campaign, both in the primary, where we won with about 74% of the vote, and then on into the general election, was really that the constituency is tired of this false dichotomy. We don't have to choose between the environment and good paying jobs. And in fact, if we act now in a very proactive way, and go on the offensive with the climate crisis and transitioning our economy to a clean energy economy, that will actually produce jobs. One of the things, you hear the sort of right wing use the Green New Deal as an attack piece. That's a jobs program. That's a jobs program that will create thousands of jobs throughout the United States. So we have to really listen carefully with a critical ear toward those kind of right-wing talking pieces that would split us and try to divide and conquer. The environment and good family sustaining jobs, sustainable jobs into the future are intimately intertwined. They go hand in hand. And so what I will be working toward is bringing us out of that old mentality that our entire economy has to be based on extractive industry, that our entire economy has to be based on old traditional extractive industry of mining, of pipelines, of clear cuts, of unsustainable environmental practices. We have to do better than that. We're going to do better than that, and it will bring more jobs.
I have one more question for you, and if you can be succinct, that would be great. But you did write on several areas of your campaign website that it is a priority for you to bring home dollars for infrastructure needs like streets, water, and city services, thereby not overburdening property taxpayers. How badly is Duluth in need of infrastructure support?
Pretty badly, like many other places in Minnesota and throughout the United States. I mean, this has been a problem again for decades. It's going back to these basics. We have neglected our basic infrastructure, our water infrastructure, our sewer infrastructure, our transportation infrastructure, our bridges, our roads. There's so much fundamental work to be done because we have not made those robust public investments that we need to be making. And so it is in my belief that it is the basic job of a representative, a senator, a legislator, to make sure that we use our state resources for those basic needs of infrastructure that our municipalities have, so that they can hold the line on property taxes. Because the property tax is actually a very regressive tax, and it really hits people who are on fixed incomes the hardest. So what we need to do is use the revenue sources that the state can use, which are much more equitable, much more based on income and wealth, and then take care of those basic needs from that fund.
Senator Jennifer McEwen, I want to thank you so much for taking the time.
Thank you so much for having me.